Rune Bratland, thank you very much for your time. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Rune Bratland. I am the CEO of Skadedyrservice, a small pest control company in the west part of Norway. I'm also the chair of the Norwegian Pest Control Association, and I'm a board member of CEPA.
Mm-hmm. So Rune, as a part of CEPA, so European perspective, and as the CEO of your own business in Norway, how did the COVID crisis and the virus and the lockdowns, etc., how did you experience it in Norway?
Actually, we've been quite fortunate here in Norway. At first, of course, we was afraid of what was going to happen. It was a crisis that locked down most of the businesses in Norway. They was quite quick to shut them down. After a while, we was able to be listed as key workers in our country. So we can operate as normal, because there was different rules for moving from one community to another community, and they can stop there on the border and say you can't come in here because we don't have COVID-19 here. But with this message from the government that we are key workers, that actually could help us moving from one community to another. And as key workers, the normal procedure as service has gone pretty much as normal, with some precaution. Of course, we have to check with elderly people, and so we don't go into so many people anymore, and we do outside services. But most of our commercial business has gone as normal. The one part that has been slightly reduced is the sale to new people. That has been a drop, and I will think that is the same for the bigger company in Norway as well.
So Norway has a specialty, I think, but it's rather a Scandinavian thing, maybe, that sometimes the bigger companies in your nation deal with insurances directly, right? Can you explain that to anybody that's not familiar with it?
Yeah, the insurance company has a policy that they will help people in every situation. For a few years back, they included different types of pests like insects, rodents, and whatsoever. They offer a free inspection for the clients, and they have engaged pest controllers to do this inspection, everything that's regarding to pest-related issues. And we will evaluate and see what's the problem in, report back to the insurance company. And most of the cases, they get the problem fixed through the insurance company, just paying a small fee for this job.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, that's I think at least to my knowledge, correct me anybody if I'm wrong, but that's a very special thing for especially Norway, Sweden. I don't know if Finland is the same, or even Denmark. But dealing with an insurance company means if you were a national pest control manager with like a large company, you would deal with a couple of insurances rather than dealing with, let's say, thousands of clients. Is that correct?
That's correct. But there's also a way around this, because my company has been a partner for one of the bigger companies. So we get the share of the insurance jobs.
All right, gotcha.
So we go through a bigger company because the insurance company want only a few contacts. If they should manage all the small one, it's much more administrative for them to do. So they go through the bigger one, and the bigger one goes to us, the smaller, because there is so much to do, they can't handle it themselves.
Okay, understood.
So they seek smaller partners, and we, the smaller company, seek them because we want a part of these jobs that are coming.
Course. Yeah.
So it's a benefit for both.
Yeah, win-win. Great.
Yeah.
Rune, what do you do at CEPA, and why is the European network of pest managers and our industry so important?
My job in CEPA, I'm a board member, as you said. My main object in the board is one of two leaders of the training section, dealing with the Memorandum of Understanding, trying to build up a standard for training for pest controllers. So we can have a minimum of standard and make a difference between what's a trained professional pest controller and what's a professional. because there are no clear definition as it's per now. And to make this difference, I hope that we can have access to more of the available solution for treatment of rodents.
Mm-hmm. Super. So you just mentioned the Memorandum of Understanding, and I know that CEPA called out for many, many people in the industry to sign it. I, of course, know why it's so important to sign it, but can you, in your own words, as a member of the board of CEPA, explain why the Memorandum of Understanding, which has a highlight or a focus on training, on IPM, etc., why it's so important to have many people sign it?
It's very important that many people sign it because from the government perspective, all across Europe, there are so many different levels of training or non-training required at all to be a pest controller.
Yeah.
So this is a self-regulation of the business to raise the standard of pest controllers all across Europe. And the more they sign it, the more pressure on our own business, and expecting that the clients buying our services are looking for those who follow these strict rules for how to operate, like EPM. Integrated Pest Management is the key word to make a good solution for every client in every situation. You have to evaluate the situation bit by bit, see what's the best solution for the environment, what's the best solution for the client, and also the economic part of it. So it follows everything, so everyone can make good decisions, but you can't do that without the training.
100% agreed, and very well put. Thank you, Rune. I agree. And I think the importance of the basics of IPM, and which are laid down in the Memorandum of Understanding, which I'm going to link below the video, is not yet clear to everybody. So anybody that watches the video, please have a look at the Memorandum of Understanding. I think CEPA put a lot of work in there. So thank you, and all your kudos really to the board of directors of CEPA for putting that together. Great effort. Rune,
I will just add, Daniel, that the Memorandum of Understanding is a document that everyone can sign. There is no really expectation for what you say. There's no high standards in it. It's just the minimum standard that is required, and this minimum standard sets guidelines of how to operate. So it's quite safe for everyone who wants to be professional in this business to sign it, and those who want to have a professional service provider doing the job in their site.
Exactly, and even food producers or supermarket chains, or even a McDonald's or whatever chain, just to mention one brand, could sign it if they support this kind of way of dealing with pests. So and
it's only a benefit for our clients.
100%, yeah, agreed. Okay, Rune, I think a lot of people want to know a little about how you deal with pests in Norway. So what is special? What is we just learned about the insurance deals that pest control operators in Norway have. Is there any specialty or change in how to deal with pests in the last 10, 15 years? Is there any trend, or has there been a focus on some sort of pests, for instance, rodents or mosquitoes? Is there any trend towards digital trapping or green technologies, anything?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. When I started this business back in the year of 2000, 20 years ago, there was no training, no education required in Norway at all. In 2004, we got the formal training that we have to do in Norway. And with that training, we started to look at EPM. So it's been a slow process, but when I started, if you saw a bug, you sprayed it. If you saw a rat, you put out poison. So that has changed. If we are now looking at some bugs, whatever, we look for solution that can do it in a sustainable way, with as less insecticides as possible, without insecticide if it's possible to do that. And also we have this look at sanitation, proofing, and so on with rodents, because a rodent can't come into a sealed building. So if you seal the building, why should you put the poison in rat poison in that building?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense.
Agreed.
So yes, it's been a quite change, but it takes some while. Since we started in 2004, it has been, what should I say? It takes more than 10, 12 years before we can see really the big changes. Sure. And of course, with the new digital trapping systems, it's coming in. The problem is it's so little reference on how they work, and some of them. There are some that is quite pricey for the clients. So most of our clients is private household, so they see it will be a little bit high cost to use them. Sure. So a lot of smaller company like myself are using still anticoagulants as the rat poison to solve some problems because it's too high of a cost. We want to change, but sometimes it's hard to get acceptance for a higher cost.
Absolutely. It's very, I mean, in the end, it's a business. And if you offer or quote your client with a price that's 200 or 300% higher than your current pricing, you will get less work coming into your company. You can't pay your employees, etc. So it needs to be comparable, or at least there has to be some means of the value calculation that you see, okay, I use only 30% of the time because anything is digitized. I can use my staff for some other jobs. But yeah, I think we're going there. And I think with time, there's going to be a cost regression and things are going to be really interesting to revisit in the next couple of years. And I'm sure you, as one of the innovators, are going to be very curious about how that topic evolves. As you Norwegians always are. I was looking at the Tesla statistic of you using electronic vehicles, and I thought, maybe Rune has already millions of thousands of digital traps in his company. It's not yet subsidized from the state, right?
We should surely move to a greener line. And I think there's been a change because there are more awareness of the difference between first generation, second generation, and what we can call third generation of anticoagulants. And in Norway, as far as I know, there are no evidence that there are resistance by rats or mice on first generation poisoning. So using first generation, at least we get rid of the secondary poisoning. So because it's removed from the rat's body so fast.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, at least. Much more awareness of what we are using and when we are using it.
So you did watch the video interview with Bobby, you told me. Maybe you can tell everybody, A, how you liked the video, and B, what your personal experience with Bobby was like.
Oh my God, I love Bobby. So I'm partly colored by my admiration for him. He's such a good guy. And I first met Bobby in 2017, I think, in New York. Mm-hmm. He has a lecture on the rat situation in the city of New York. Yep. Also had a rat safari in the nighttime, so it was quite interesting to follow him. And we were so lucky to have him at our pest control conference in Norway in the beginning of March, just before lockdown. And he is so straight to the point when his main message is you have to be a biologist at first to understand the rodents, how they behave and what signs to see, and then you can start whatever treatment you're doing in sanitation, whatever. So it's straight to the point. So he has a really good message, and I think he reached out to the crowd. We have also around 160 people at our conference. Nice. So I think they was wowed by his speech.
If you would describe Bobby's way of doing pest control in very short sentences, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as how it should be, actually. You have to put science first. You have to know what you are looking for, know the behavior of what you are controlling, and you have to use the correct measurements and equipment to each case.
Mhm.
It changes from case to case,
Yes.
and you have to adapt, and you have to know, and you have to have these tools in your toolbox.
Mm.
So he's straight to the point, and watching him and see him at the street level, on the street with him, it's perfect.
Yeah. And did you see a lot of? I mean, it's a rhetorical question, obviously, but did you see loads of rats in New York in the nighttime?
We did, yes. And see Bobby and just pointing on some black garbage bin on the sidewalk, and see, put your hand on this garbage bin, and you can feel the movement inside.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was on every corner.
Unbelievable.
Every corner.
I think New York or other large cities, probably also Bergen, the downtown of the cities, due to maybe the lack of hygiene or waste management and IPM proofing of the old buildings, etc. There are rat problems always around. So Bobby is one of the eager guys that want to diminish the rat problems in the downtown areas, and I think the key of his speeches always was the IPM pyramid, right? So
yeah.
Physical control, IPM measures, cleaning, sealing the building, etc. So yeah, I think we've all learned a lot of him, and I think if he would read our memorandum of understanding that we brought forward by CEPA, powered by you as well, I think he would sign it too.
I would think so. I don't think he had any regrets signing a memorandum of understanding.
Agreed.
Yeah, and you're correct. Bergen, as other city, has problem in the downtown area. A lot of fast food restaurant, people going home at night, throwing a half-eaten hamburger or a hot dog by the sidewalk, and it's not cleaned before the day after the rat has their meal. So yeah, I think every city, at least we have proper bins in Norway. We don't have plastic bag on the sidewalk. So that's a good thing. So hopefully rest of Europe and bigger city has room for a garbage bin. Sealed garbage bin. That will help a lot.
Thank you so much for your time. Really, really enjoyed it. You stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Stay safe, everyone.